Oh, hey everybody. It's uh, it's Shane, and I'm back after a really long and crappy weekend at work. I had to work, and it wasn't fun. Had a lot of people screwing around, and this was not an enjoyable experience. Uh, yeah, here's what it is. I was gonna do a shared flight tonight with one of my hub pilots. We got after about an hour of setting up and stuff. We got to the point where we were getting ready to start engines on this MD-11, and his computer crashed. And he and I decided it wasn't really worth the effort of trying to start it all over again. So I'm just gonna fly by myself because I need some relaxation time. We're gonna take this aircraft up to North Bay, which is about 200 miles north of Hamilton. We're gonna land there, immediately turn the jet, and come back. I just need to relax tonight after that. So got the aircraft already set up. Just gonna need to hop on a VAT sim here, and see, I even had it set up for a shared flight. Bummer. And the aircraft was syncing up really nice too. That was the best part about it. All right. So fuel quantity for this flight is set. 30,800 pounds. FMC set. Flap takeoff selector. It's flaps 15. IFR clearance. Let's see if we can get one. I'm not seeing any ATC on at this point, which I don't blame them. It's kind of late in Canada at this point, right? That actually might not be a bad thing. We can just kind of do our own thing and not have to worry about dealing with a lot of stuff. So, YHM 125000. Huh? 122.8. Hey, I love lamp. I don't like lamp. I love lamp. Okay, transponder. I'm trying to determine if I have any ATC coverage here. It does not appear that I do, so we'll just go ahead and use 7214. Why not? Radios are set for departure. FCP airspeed is set for 250. FCP heading will be the runway heading, which is basically 297. Let me see if I can get my... Oh, great. Now my Mobi flight's not working. Insult to injury. Let me see if I can get that working real quick, guys. I'd really like it to operate for this flight. Ah, excellent. So 297 on the runway departure heading. Altitude we'll set up to 350. We'll see if we get up there, maybe. Altimeters. Let me grab those now. Wind is 310 at 9. Altimeter is 3019. Okay. That's set. And we'll get it on a standby too. Alright. Auto brakes. Take off. Departure briefing. Okay, so we're at Hamilton. Standard parking area. North Cargo, I believe it is. Yep. We're going to push tail facing to the west, taxi down Alpha, left on Charlie, take Charlie. I'm going to make a right turn on to 24 and another right turn on 30. We'll do a 180 turn and depart on 30 on the Monroe 2 departure. So the instructions here are climb to 297 to 1300 feet, then left climb turn to 260 to 4000 feet. Expect radar vectors to assigned route. So once we're climbing and cleaned up a bit, we'll go direct to Newber and then to Newgop and then direct to North Bay. I'm expecting to pick up the RNAV Yankee runway 26 approach, and we'll land here, quick turn the aircraft, over at the Aviation Corporation, and then we'll take it off and head back. I'll quick turn the jet as quickly as I can to keep the excitement level high. I'm glad you like it, Sam Pilot. I'm still working on the 700 right now. It needs a lot of work. I don't like the way it's flying, but I'm pretty happy with the 800 at the moment. Yeah, that's a good idea, Patrick. And if you have any questions at any point, let me know. I'll be happy to answer those for you. In fact, if you want, Patrick, I'll hop back onto on the shared flight intercom, and you can just mute me because I'll be talking. You'll hear my voice. You can just mute me on here, but you can talk if you have any specific questions as I'm flying, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. But I would just mute your mic or go push to talk if you want to do that. If not, no big deal. But yeah, speak up. If you have a question while I'm flying, please ask it. The departure briefing is performed. Threats, it is very cold here tonight. It's minus 5 degrees. Yeah, Simpilot, I'm working on the 700. I want to make it not feel off. I can get it to feel right, but because it's such a short, stubby plane, X-Plane doesn't like it. So I really have to tweak it a lot. The last couple flights I've made with it are not so great. I'm working on it, though. Okay. Threats, it's really cold here. I don't know what the friction coefficient is for the runway. I don't assume it's fine because we don't have any sort of precipitation, right? I don't see any ice, so we shouldn't have any issue taxiing here. APU is started. Status page on engine. Doors and windows. Let's make sure those are closed. Yep. Alright, hydraulic pump. On. Parking brake. Set. APU power on, external power off, full chocks and age are removed. Okay, beacon light is on, APU bleed on, engine ignition, let's go ignition A. Smart cars up, voice server timeout. Okay, thanks, I explained. What's up, Mouths? Welcome aboard, bruh. Okay, let me get my smart cars going here. Let's get this tug moving too.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Cool. You know what I'm going to do? I don't think I'm going to use the webcam tonight, crew. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the lights off in my office and make it nice and dark. Because I love the ambiance of my office at night with just the dim lighting from the screens, keeping things
okay, all
nice.
doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Clear to connect. Okay. I don't know what it is about Hamilton, but I really love this place. It's such a cool airport. And it's quiet and it's cozy. You know, and the nice thing about the UPS virtual cargo system is that I don't have to fly here if I don't want to. I can go to any airport in our system and fly. But I like to come up here at least once or twice a month just to feel like I'm back home, I guess. And then we go fly around all over the world elsewhere. Yeah, Patrick, anytime, just unmute yourself, and if you have a question, I'll be happy to answer you as we're flying live. So, guys, Patrick is the guy that I tried to do share flight with tonight. And I'm not blaming shared flight for any issues, because it was syncing up really nice, and we were following along, putting in things together, and it was working. It was just some computer stuff.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. So connected and bypass pin inserted.
So the shared flight was behaving.
Brake.
Alright, crew, let's ready to go. Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, starting engine 3, button out, light on. Just rotation. Okay, oil pressure, fuel. Fuel flow. EGT. %. Button in. Light out. Starting 1. Rotation on the N2. Hamilton traffic, good evening. UPS 2014 heavy push and start north cargo ramp onto taxiway Alpha tail facing west. Alright. Fuel on 1. Fuel flow. AGT. Oil pressure. Okay, button in, light out, starting 2, but now light on. Rotation.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, oil pressure's indicated. Fuel. Fuel flow. EGT. I'm having a glass of $4 wine. Because why spend $80 on a bottle of wine when a $4 bottle of wine gets the job done, right? Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Okay, we'll see you. Thanks a lot. Alright, engine and wing, antis. It's really cold outside, but there's no precipitation, so we should not have any issue with icing here. APU bleed is off. APU is off. And ground signal. Is good. Okay. Flaps, have to take off. Flaps 15. Spoiler handle. Arm. Stat trim. 5.4 aircraft nose up.
What did you say?
Huh?
Wait.
Talking to me?
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Take up data. Okay, so we got V1 of 135, rotate 141, V2 155, flat track 165, slap track 205, climb speed 231. Taxi takeout departure brief, there's no change. I'm going to stick with my original plan. Alpha to Charlie 24 or 06 over to 30. Okay, transponder. TARA, those lights. Runway turn off. Taxi clearance. Hamilton traffic, UPS 2014 heavy taxi to runway 30 via Alpha Charlie. Back taxi 06, back taxi 30, Hamilton. Alright. I think we're set. Let's go ahead and kill some lights in here. I like it dark.
Quick question.
Hey, thanks HD. Appreciate it, man. Alright, let's go.
Quick question for you with the startup.
Yeah, go for it.
So when you pull the thing out that initiates the starter,
Yep.
and you induce the fuel at 14 or 15?
You could do it a little bit early, but 15 is what is a minimum for the engine to light off at. So, I would just turn it on close to 15.
And then like 49 to 50 is when you push that.
It should automatically turn off on its own at 45%. If it does not, you need to manually push it in. But just monitor it. It should automatically shut off at 45% N2.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay, left turn here. Alright, so the runway friction, or the taxiway friction is good. I'm not feeling any slip in here. We're not slip sliding around at Hamilton tonight, which I have done in the past, and it's not fun. Well, it was going to be, but it ended up not working out, so I'm flying by myself now. We tried, but my flight partner was having some computer issues tonight. So I'm just doing this solo, but the invitation's always open for anybody who wants to fly with me. Okay, so this is 0624. We're going to make a right turn
approaching
here.
06.
Whoa. You know what? I got no brakes. That's a problem. I have no brakes. And I have no rudder pedals. One moment. I think I missed a checklist step there. Aren't I supposed to check that before we start taxiing? Alright, let me see here. I totally missed some checklist steps here. Yep, rudder's working. Alright, let's try the brakes again. See, that's why I have that on my checklist to check it, and I didn't do it. That's not the right way to do this, right? Okay, brakes. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, taxi change plan. We're gonna make a right turn on onto 30 and back taxi that. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, ailerons left. I was gonna say, like, I was using the rudder pedals to steer, and it wasn't really steering. I was like, rudder right, rudder left. Okay. Oh, see, there it goes. Because I was using my steering tiller to steer, but I'm like, man, I feel like my rudder pedals aren't really steering. Dude, I am blaming it on the drinking, dude. It's totally what it was, 100%. But unlike my guys at work, I wait till after I get home to drink. I don't drink while I'm at work. Oops.
Approaching 30. On runway 12.
Okay, before takeoff, engine EAD is checked. Profile, navigation. Actually, I take that back. Heading select. No, we'll leave it on nav actually. I take it back. That'll be fine. Okay, auto flight.
Approaching 24.
Radar. And we're clear for takeoff. Fair enough. You know how many LORs I had to write today? That sucks. LORs and Article 15, but I won't be handling that. That's First Sergeant's problem. Anyway.
On runway 30.
I have the traffic UPS 2014 departing runway 30 Monroe to departure. Alright, crew, let's go. Wind 310 at 9. Okay, so takeoff list. Plus set. No speeds alive.
80 knots.
Clamp.
B1. Rotate. You're up.
Okay, clamp thrust. Alright, 250 pitch, pitching down. And let's go flaps to track. Yeah, it's usually 3,000 feet, so I could change it, but I just leave it. Alright, let's go direct, UGOB. Nuber, rather. Alright. I'm gonna go nav. Slot your track. Get some nose down trim in this thing.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
Okay, autopilot. Go. At the takeoff checklist, landing gear up, lights are out, spoiler handle, retract. Autopilot is Correction, auto brakes off. Flaps and slats are up, retract. Flap takeoff selector, flaps routine. EAD is checked, no alerts. Exterior lights off. Okay, 346 pitch.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh man, it's that Canadian stuff, man. Tell you what, Patrick. Once we invade Canada and make you the 51st state, all your problems will be solved. That's the problem. You guys are just kind of living in a bubble up there. We'll come up there, pop the bubble, and you know, bring you guys into the United States, and then we'll fix it all. We'll fix all your problems. You know, United States is so 3008, and you guys are like so 2000 late. So that's the problem. But we'll get you all right. Man, check out that performance tonight. We are really light. We got a lot of headwind. Check that out. Altimeters. Standard. Hey, we'll cross-check at flight level 200 because we're climbing so fast. Wait, you live in Missouri? You live in Missouri? Oh, I thought you were Canadian. Oh, crap. You sound like you had a Canadian accent to me. Oh, man, I screwed that up, dude. I thought you were a Canadian, Patrick. Oops. I messed that one up. Dude, check that climb rate out. No? Well, I've been told that I sound like I'm from the East Coast of the United States and I'm from California, so there you go. I guess I'm not immune to it. That doesn't sound like a normal flight for us. Let me see. Is this one of my guys? Wow. Yeah, it's not like he should be with us, right? Hamilton? No, so bear in mind that not everybody in the VA is on Discord. They should be, but they're not always. I try to get everybody to join it, but not everybody does.
Altitude.
Alright. Well, now's the go. I ran to put some food in the microwave because I'm getting hungry here. Got some leftover tortellinis with a really delicious chunky sauce that I make with it. I'm gonna have that. And then for dessert, I've got some amazing pumpkin bread that my mother cooked for me with the homemade icing, frosting on top. It's really good. With chocolate chips inside. Alright, so we're at cruise. We're getting there. Top of the set is really quick, so let's go ahead and brief the arrival. So landing data, let's go over the runway here. So going into North Bay. 10,000 foot runway, which is really nice. So we can use auto brakes 1 for that. Or auto brakes minimum, this is not a Boeing. Okay, and we'll plan on exiting around Juliet or full length or hotel, whatever we get, it's fine. We can use the whole run, right? It's not an issue. There's no arrival on here, so we'll fly profile down. We'll go direct to TechSog. Let's go ahead and put that in right now. I'm gonna go direct TechSog. And let's brief the arrival. I'm on the RNAV, or correction, the approach. This is the RNAV Yankee runway 26. So decision altitude 1536. We'll cross TechSog at 210 knots, 5,000 feet. Music's at 2600, and we'll fly a 3-degree glide path down the runway threshold, which is at 12:15. 2900 MSA, and Mr. Approach climb 2900, track 257 at no time. As required, shuttle climb. We don't need a shuttle climb. Okay, easy enough. That's briefed. Which will advertise that required 1536 on the minimums. 1536. Set. SA is checked. And the current weather at North Bay. Wind 280 at 4 down the runway. 9 miles visibility. Temperature minus 19. Oh, that's cold. Temperature dew point 21. Humidity 84%. Altimeter 3015. Dang. Minus 19 Celsius. That is cold. I never in my entire life have I experienced cold like that. Never. Never. Being a California native, I have never come anywhere close to temperatures like that. Alright. New altitude will be 10,000 feet. Make sure we slow down. Alright, vertical alert, coming down. Okay, so we'll be on Unicom. Heading in. Let me see if my food's ready. I'm hungry. Oh yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. So it's .ctab, and then you put the ICAO code in. Alright, add drag. Oh yeah, we need to add some drag.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh, that's some good food right here. Okay. Got the drag out. Yep, .ctab. That's how I always do it. And if it says that there isn't a code, then you just use Unicom then. So, where we're flying in Canada is pretty far north. I'm actually surprised that there's even any settlements up here. Like, who wants to live up here? Like, what are you doing up here? And North Bay, like, what is in North Bay that you need to live in this freezing, horrible place? I don't quite get these Canadians living in these desolate areas. Like, what are you doing there that it's necessary to live there? Oh yeah, Patrick, see what's up, man? Because that loading time is crazy. I couldn't deal with that. 10-15 minutes to load up. I couldn't do it. Mine takes about a minute. Look at that 100 knot crosswind right now. Look at our crab as we're flying through the. We're flying a heading of 20 with a track of 33. 13-degree offset to fly straight.
Stabilizer motion.
It's called stabilizer motion. So basically what happens is on the MD-11 there's nothing to tell you mechanically that the stabilizer is moving. All you have is this tiny little indication here that the stabilizer is in motion. So there's different criteria. So if you're like an automatic pilot, an autopilot, or a manual, the criteria for that sounding off is different. But essentially, if the autopilot or you are trimming the stabilizer for more than a few seconds at a time, you'll get an aural alert that the stabilizer is moving. So that makes you draw your attention to this, so that you don't have a runaway trim situation, right? Because if you hear stabilizer motion, you're like, oh, okay, well, let me check that. But if you see it continuing to move way past when you think it should, then you have a stab trim runaway, and then there's obviously steps you need to take to prevent that. So it just makes the pilots aware that the stab trim is being moved for longer than a few seconds at a time, so you don't get a runaway trim situation. That's what it's for. Hearing it doesn't mean that there's a problem. It's just letting you know that the stab trim is moving for more than like 5 seconds at a time. So hey, just be aware we're trimming the stab and it's moving for a while, so maybe watch this for a bit, make sure we're okay. On the C-17, we had the same call out. We can actually make it do it. Like we do a stab trim checkout where we had to manually trim the stab. We hear it about 10 times during that time because the stabilizer is moving the entire time, and it's triggering stabilizer motion alerts multiple times during that checkout. The C-17 is a McDonnell Douglas aircraft, just like this. Wow, that was good. All right, cool. How are we looking here? All right, altimeters 3015. Cross check at 17.
Altimeter setting.
Yep, I got it, girl. Cross check. What's up, AD? Welcome aboard, man. Oh, it does a lot, man. You'll hear them. Here, I'll give you one right now. Listen to this.
Altitude.
There's one. Stall, overspeed, flaps, slats, brakes, stabilizer. He usually has a lot to say.
Altitude.
1,000 to go. Let's reset it down 5,000 feet. The FMS, well, and a real aircraft, it does a lot of ACARS communication, and it does a lot of like maintenance bits. On the rotate, it doesn't do a whole lot. So, like, there's a lot of maintenance built-in tests that you can run out of here. All kinds of things like maintenance. See, it doesn't work. It doesn't do a whole lot, unfortunately, on the rotate. I'm not sure. I really don't know. So they haven't mentioned anything to me about it. I don't think so. But, you know, a lot of that maintenance built-in test stuff is really in the weeds for your average flight simmer. So I don't know that you really need that anyway. Oh, we are so fast. Holy crap. Okay. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, lights on. We are way, way fast here. Like, I should be at 250 knots for 300 knots. Like, this is, like, really bad.
Stabilizer motion.
I'm blaming the wine. Alright, we'll get her slowed down. Yeah, and we're also very, very low on the profile. So this is your vertical profile here, and this is where you're at.
Stabilizer motion.
So if the diamond's up here, that means you're way below the profile. And you can check it on the performance page. It'll say you're over 1,000 feet low and 11 miles short. So that's a way of it telling you you're way high, bro. Okay. Speed brakes are retracted. And a path error. So we're 8 miles short here, essentially. So you'll notice that the aircraft has decreased the descent rate, and once the diamond gets closer to the center, it'll pick up that vertical profile and speed up the descent again. But right now, we got way out of whack here. And now the auto throttle's putting in some thrust. to capture that airspeed 214 thrust, right? Yep. There you go. There's your speed. So there's your gear speed limits, and your flap speed limits are right here. I love this. How do I love the wind wing? I love it. I'm actually using it right now for the MD-11, so it's super versatile, and I'm really, really happy that I bought it. So far, I've got profiles to make it work on the 777, MD-11. It works by default on the Zebo mod, so you just run SimApp Pro on that, and it just works. You don't have to do anything else. But for the aircraft that I fly, it's been working, so I'm happy with it. All of the autopilot things you see me doing, I'm doing on the Wind Wing PAP 3. I'm not even touching this. Okay. Our vertical profile is slowly coming back in, and you'll see that that will be reflected on the path error. So you see that our path error is coming in. It's going to be dependent on aircraft weight. Right now, we're actually pretty light. This is a really low landing weight for an MD-11 freighter. So this is actually pretty slow approach speed. I typically see anywhere of 162 to 167 on approach speeds with flaps 35. This is really slow. Okay, there's the airport. I see the beacon. And I'm pretty sure there's nobody up here. There's some guy over here at this airport, whatever that is. So I won't bother making any Unicom frequency announcements because there's nobody here. So the MD-11, even at empty weight, is already heavy.
Altitude.
So you could technically be using heavy even right now. Is big are. The BATSIM controllers are kind of in and out with that stuff. Yeah, so the reason that I got the 737 one is because it basically is the autopilot panel that has the absolute most buttons of any autopilot panel, right? The Airbus one doesn't have a whole lot. If there was an MD-11 one, there'd be almost nothing to push. So I figured I would get the one that has the most buttons to give you the most mapping opportunities, right? Alright, speed brakes. Let's slow down a little bit here. Q10 thrust. Alright, and speed checks flaps 15. Alright, 183 thrust. Well, yeah, but you gotta look at the commercial viability of it, right? Is there, if they made an MD-11 one, how many people would buy it? How many people are flying this? So I got the 737 one because it has every button you could think of, and I could map them all if I wanted to. So that's why it's working for an MD-11, because this thing has 3 times the amount of buttons and knobs that an MD-11 does. Because I mean, this is the most basic autopilot panel there is. There's nothing to it. Oh crap! We need to get down, huh? Okay, profile to 39. Yeah, those just planes MD-11 flights are pretty awesome, and I'm glad we have those for posterity so we can enjoy those forever. Okay, so we're on the RNAV approach now. Alright. Oh, we'll keep this configuration for now. I'd like RNAVs because they cut the corner, dude. They're just quicker. I don't, especially when the weather's good like this, where it's VMC. There's no reason to fly an ILS approach if you can see. And the RNAV minimums get you down more or less low enough anyway. So I prefer RNAV whenever possible, just to get in quicker.
2500.
I checked, runway in sight. Alright, gear down, flaps 28.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, well. There's flaps 28. Okay, 157 thrust. Oh, well that RNAV brought us a little bit off. Alright, flaps 35. Landing checklist, landing gear down. For green, spoiler handle is armed, auto brakes, minimum. Flaps 35. Altimeter's crash check, EAD, green box, landing clearance to land. Alright, let me fix this.
Autopilot.
Alright. Auto throttle. Approach, altitude, set.
Approaching 26.
Okay, got a little bit of crosswind component, but not too much here.
500.
Okay, a little high, correct?
400. 300 minimum. Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Like, runway's got a little bit of slope on it, huh?
Spoilers deployed.
Ah, this is slippery. And you're braking.
3,000 feet remaining.
Alright. That's the landing checklist. Spoiler handle up. Retract. Disarm. Flaps up. Auto brakes off. Radar switch off. Landing light, nose light. APU. Start. Depth trim. Set. Okay, I have land checklist complete. Okay, now I gotta figure out where the heck we're at. Okay, we'll make a right turn on to Lima. We'll do a 180 turn here to get set up.
Approaching 3-6.
Yep. Hey, there's a marshal over there. I'll take it. What are you marshalling for, buddy? No? Not me? Okay. That's fine. We'll get out of the way then, I guess. And we'll keep APU running. All right. Alright, crew. Yeah, we'll do it right now. So we have landed at North Bay. Okay, let's go ahead and get set up for our return flight and quickly get this jet home. I go to bed. Okay, we'll take this jet back to Hamilton. EPS 2030. Okay. New flight. EPS 2030. YYB. YHM. MD-11. Okay, looks good. Now let's try this Tito's one. Quite a bit more cargo, so we'll be a lot heavier landing at Hamilton. Good. We'll file this. Flight plan is filed, so let's go ahead and switch over to it. Nice. All right. So FMC. Let's go over to the init page. So we are going CYYB, CYHM. Alternate's going to be, let's load that up. Trenton. CYTR. UPS 2030. Cost index is going to be 147. Oh yeah. That's not what I want. Alright, there. Cruise altitude, it'll be 380. We'll see about that. I don't know if we're going to get up that high. And MSA is -1, so -58, which is warmer than Hamilton. And we have a 17 knot headwind. Okay. I did not put in the weight and balance. We need to do that now. So the payload is 174.8. Block fuel is 35.5. And the trip fuel is going to be and apply. Okay, it looks good. Flight plan. SID. We're going to use runway 26. And then our first waypoint is going to be New Gop. And there's no SID here. And then from there, we're going to go to the Tito's. Then we're going to pick up the Tito's 3 or Tito's 1. And we're looking for the RNAV. Well, you know what? Just for fun, can we land on 1-2? We'd have an 8-knot tailwind, but it can be done. Why don't we try it? Right? Let's see what that looks like to land on 1-2. 8-knot tailwind, which is not ideal, but I think we can stop the aircraft. Yeah. So let's go Imoku over to Setbi. We'll do that. So we'll use the ILS 12 from Setbi. And what I'll do is I'll delete this and I'll connect that. Look at that. Perfect. That'll give us a nice ILS intercept course there. So let's review the flight plan. Continuity at the takeoff, so we'll fly runway heading and then we'll go direct NUGOP when able. Okay, flight plan looks good. Takeoff. Let's run those numbers now. If you want to, man. You mentioned getting burned out a little bit. I'll get to that, Patrick. If you're getting burned out, just don't fly so much. You don't need to fly every day with UPS, man. Do it when you want to, but don't feel obligated to do it all the time. You don't need to do that. All right, flaps 15, flex 58, and OAT is minus 19. What the heck? Ugh. So flaps, flex 58, flaps 15. Our wind component here is 0 at 3 knots headwind, minus 19 Celsius. That is so cold. There we go. Alright, there we go. Final cockpit prep. Fuel quantity is check 35.5. FMC is check. Flap takeoff sector flaps 15. IFR clearance is none. Transponder 7214. Radios are set. FCP airspeed will set for 250. So you set it for 250 for anything if your climb speed is at or below 250. If VCL is above 250, then you set it to whatever that number is there. But since we're below it, 250 is what we set. Runway heading is set up to altitude. Flight level 380. Auto brakes. Takeoff. Departure brief. We're at North Bay. So we'll taxi straight ahead with no tug over to Lima. Right turn on Lima. And left turn on a 26, depart full length. There is no departure. So we'll fly runway heading, which is 257. And basically, when we get to acceleration altitude, we'll go direct to NUGOP. So we get to Tito's, and we'll do the Tito's 3 arrival, and I'll brief that as we get closer. So somebody mentioned that my acceleration altitudes are a little high. Here, I'm going to show you how you fix that. So these are acceleration altitudes. You might be able to edit these. Let's try it. There you go. Acceleration altitude 3000. That's 3000 MSL. We'll try that out. APU is already running. Final before start pushback checklist. Engines are on. Doors and windows are closed. Oxide hydraulic pump 1 is on. Parking brake is set. APU power is on. Wheel chocks and age. Beacon light. APU bleed. Ignition B. Small cars. Is recording. Push to start. We're clear to push. And start. We're not pushing, we're just starting. Alright, I got air. Got power. Starting 3. Oh yeah, it was almost a year ago. It was around this time last year, and I slid off the runway. I can't believe. I was hoping nobody would remember that, but apparently you did. Dang it! But there's no precipitation here tonight, so it's just cold. But since there's been no rain or snow, the runway is not slick. All right, fuel. I can't believe you remembered that. It's literally last year that I slid off the runway here. Okay, starting 1. Alright, fuel on 1. I've had a lot of strut benders, man. Start 2. I even had one on this thing not that long ago. It was like 600 feet a minute. I don't know what happened there. Fuel on 2. Okay, I have to start checklist. Engine and wing anti is not required. There's no precipitation here. APU bleed is off. APU off. Ground signal is good. Next checklist. Flaps have to take up. Flaps 15. Spoiler handle arm. Snap trim. 5.9. Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad for a 747, man. They're usually pretty easy to land. I don't know. What were you doing, man? Sleeping at the wheel? Take up data. 140, 153, 162, slat track 172, flapper track 172, slat 217, clean maneuvering 244. Nice ticket, departure brief, no change. Transponder. Alright, config. Alright, let's go. Well, I'm sure the packages didn't complain. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's really good, man. They've done a good job on this sound pack. Alright, nozzle steering and brakes are checked this time, as opposed to last time when I didn't. Clear left, clear right. Flight controls, ailerons left. Ailerons right. Elevator up. Elevator down. Oh, let's look at that. Well, that's a problem. There we go. Or left, or to right. I have never been to. That's the Middle East, right? What is that? What is that place called again? Doha, or is it? It's not Qatar, right? It's Dubai. Yeah, I will never fly there, never. I hate the Middle East. I can't stand that place. I have been there many, many times in my life, and I cannot stand it. There's nothing good to say about it. I don't ever want to go there again. That's all I'm going to say. So you all can fly to Dubai for me. I will kindly decline flying to that place. And if I never see it again in my life, I'll be just fine. You guys can do it for me. Alright. Before takeoff, checklist. It's all yours, man. Those bids are all yours. I won't be cutting in on that. No, I have one to fly. I'm just not very good at it. It's not very good. Yeah, I'll politely decline the Middle East rotations. There's nothing I need there. Okay, TCAS is clear. Arrival and departure ends are clear.
Approaching 2-6. On runway 26.
Radar's on. We're clear for takeoff. All right, crew, let's go. All right, set takeoff thrust. Thrust set. Airspeed. Okay, I guess that means 80 knots, right? One. Rotate.
Gear up.
pitch. Alright. Speed check flaps retract.
Stabilizer motion.
Speed checks flaps retract.
Stabilizer motion.
Alright, autopilot. Have to take off, landing gears up, speed brakes, auto brakes.
Stabilizer motion.
Flaps up, flaps, take off selector, flaps 15. No looks in EAD. Alright. We're in the air. Let's get out of here. There's no separate auto thrust button, but when you hit auto flight, you get it all. So you can manually disconnect the auto throttle by pressing the buttons on the throttles, and you'll get into something like this. This is ATS off, right? If I hit it again, it cancels it, the alert. Now, if I want to turn the auto thrust back on, I just hit auto flight again, and now the auto thrust is back on. Hey, what's up, Fox? We're just heading back to Hamilton tonight from North Bay. We'll be flying into Palm Springs later this week, maybe even tomorrow night in the 737-700. I gotta do some flight testing anyway, so maybe we'll stop by Palm Springs tomorrow evening on a stream. I'll have a lot more time to fly tomorrow night because I get home at 8:30 p.m. and I don't have my kids, so I plan on being on a computer as early as 4:30 tomorrow. Right, but yeah, I arm profile navigation on the ground before I take off. Oh, I look forward to seeing you there. Altimeter standard. Cross checking at 19. Cross check. Okay, we should be back in Hamilton very soon. Well, okay, so I'll just tell you this: don't look at the flight path. Don't use the sim brief stuff from the website. Don't even bother with it. Grab the tail number and the flight number and go to your own sim brief and build your own flight plan. And don't even bother with the flight plan that's provided by UPS VAC, because it's not getting updated. And it's got a lot of issues. I never use that flight plan. Any of the SimBrief integration that's provided there is just for reference only. If you've got your own SimBrief profile or anything, use that. Or you're going to be doing this wonky stuff like you mentioned. And it's a bit of the code of the website that needs improvement, but just to give you some insight, Preston, who's the CEO and the guy who fronts all the money for everything, for the website, he pays for everything, and the guy that he paid money to build the website has basically, got it about 70% there and basically said, I'm done, I'm good, it's good enough. But there's a lot of improvements that the site still needs, but the guy wants an exorbitant amount of money to do some basic things that should be fixed, and Preston spent enough money as it is, and he shouldn't need to spend more for basic things. So there's going to be some issues where the website's going to fall a little bit short, like the SimBrief integration could be better, but it's not cost effective to spend a lot more money to get a slightly better product that can be done independently with your own SimBrief. So that's kind of why you see that stuff. Well, he's fronting all the money, so, and he's the boss, so it's an important thing for him. Is it? You think it's NVIDIA drivers that you updated? That seems to be wreaking havoc with everybody right now. I haven't updated my NVIDIA drivers in like 2 months, so I'm not affected by any issues whatsoever. But I'm sure I would be if I had updated it.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh, okay.
Altitude.
I have zero experience with P3D, so I don't know anything about it. 1,000 to go. I don't know anything about it, how it works, nothing. So that's definitely outside of my expertise level there. I'm sure you know what to do to make it right. Okay, level at 280. It's odd. Why are we white here? Oh, maybe because we're 50 miles long. Holy crap. Did I misread my flight plan? Because we are like not even close to being on profile here. Alright. No, we're only too long. We'll be fine. I have a little bit of speed brake in here to help us down. $7,000 on P3D? Wow. Bruh. What? Wow. I don't think I've got anywhere near that invested in the X-Plane. Damn, dude. Hey, so in FSX, I had zero money invested because I was making a lot of money doing payware at the time. So I made about like $10,000 doing payware stuff for FSX back in the day. So it funded my entire habit and then some. All right, landing data. So we need to run some numbers here. What kind of a, so we're looking for runway 12, right? That's not ideal because we're going to have an 8 knot tailwind component. Just for fun, I'm going to run these numbers here. Okay, so we can land on this. So even with the 8 knot tailwind, flaps 35 approach, now this is max manual. We'll use auto brakes we use auto brakes max, but we won't need to use max manual. We'll be all right. We'll plan on rolling out to taxiway Charlie. We should be able to make that, I think. Functional NTIs not required. Decision height. Alright, let's go over this arrival. The Tito's 1. So we need to cross Tito's at or below 7,000. So that's our only real crossing restriction here. And then from Imoku, we're going to go direct to Setbi, not Apgom. We're going to do Setbi. Give us more time to get established. Let me make sure we're doing okay here. We're still a little bit long. A little more speed brake. Remove drag, okay. Apparently the FMC thinks it can make these restrictions, so see, that's an at or below. At or, no, that's not at or above, it's at or below. Okay. Alright, we're back on profile now. I certainly never bought a single payware airport in FSX. Never once. Never once. Okay, so here's the ILS 1-2 approach. We're going straight to Set B. We'll cross Set B at 3,000 feet. Final approach fix is at auxiliary at 2,200 feet. This is a 3-degree glide path, standard down to the runway threshold, which is 780 feet. RVR is 2,600 feet. Decision altitude is 980 barrow. MSA is 3,100 feet. This approach is climb on 3,000 heading 112 to expect vectors. Okay. So straight out, climb straight ahead. And 980 on the decision altitude.
Stabilizer motion.
I really missed out on this P3D thing. So basically what happened for me, guys, is right around 2011, 2012, I stopped flying commercial planes and stopped doing VATSIM. And I was really big into combat flight sims at the time, IL-2 and stuff, and I was pretty heavily invested in that. And I stopped flying any kind of like this sort of flight sim, I stopped doing it, and I basically had a huge hiatus from like 2011 to 2024. So I missed a lot of stuff during that time. 3024. So P3D basically came and went during the 14-some years I took off from
Altimeter setting.
3024. I took off from this sort of thing. And I just came back to this stuff last year after many, many years off of it. Well, you know what it was I stepped away from this stuff. So FSX was the last sim that I had done in 2011. I did a lot of combat flight sims for a while, and then I started having kids, and I no longer had the time to sit at my computer and do combat flight sims, because unlike this, you can't set an autopilot and walk away when you're flying a BF-109. Like, you're hands-on the minute you take off, the minute you land. And having a baby that started crying and needs attention, I couldn't just walk away and take care of my kid and come back to it. So I gave up flight simming around 2015 completely. And I started playing other stuff like World of Warships and other games that didn't have as big of a time commitment. And I just kind of let it go. I'm done with the flight sim thing. But then my kids started getting older, and I started watching a lot of YouTube channels like Mentor Pilot and stuff where they do like those accident videos. And I was watching, like, they use like flight sim footage for their videos, and I'm looking at the videos and I'm like, what in the world flight sims are they doing that look that good? Because the last time I had done a commercial flight sim was FSX, and it didn't look that good. But I was watching all these videos, I'm like, holy crap, like, obviously this footage that they're making this Mentor Pilot video with is coming from a flight sim, but what flight sim is that? So I started looking at it, and I guess it was apparently Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which I wasn't really paying attention to, but it looked great. And then I started thinking, like, man, I'm getting the itch. I kind of want to get back into this. But I really want to fly an MD-11 because that's what I always flew. From 2005 to 2011, I only flew MD-11 and some other stuff, but it was mostly MD-11. And like, I really want to fly MD-11s if I'm going to do this. But at the time, the only MD-11 that was available was rotate for X-plane, right? The TFDI was kind of in development, but it wasn't released. And I'm like, I want to get back into flight simming right now, and I want to fly MD-11s right now. And the only way to do that is this X-plane thing, which I don't know anything about X-plane. I've never even heard of it.
Stabilizer motion.
Check. I never even heard of X-plane. I know nothing about it. But I knew it had an MD-11, and I wanted in. So I just dove in and I said, hey, I gotta learn from scratch anyway. I don't know anything about flight simming anymore because I haven't done it in a decade and 15 years, 14 years. So I either gotta learn X-plane or Microsoft Flight Sim, but I don't know either one, so might as well just pick the one that's got the plane that I want. So I went with X-plane because it had an MD-11 that I could fly. And, you know, here I am.
Altitude.
Okay, altitude, about 3,000.
Stabilizer motion.
And at one point I did get into Microsoft Flight Simulator. My mother's boyfriend, He bought it for me for Christmas about a year or two ago. And I said, I've been wanting to try it for a while, so I'm going to try it out. And it was an awesome gift, and I appreciate it. I flew it, and I was, because I'd already been doing X-Plane for some months, as soon as I flew the, I bought the, I dove right in, guys. I bought the PMDG 777F for Microsoft Flight Simulator because it was a plane that I had flown previously in FSX. And it made sense to me. But boy, within like 2 flights, I'm like, I cannot do this. This sim sucks. Like, it's pretty and all, but the airports suck, the flight models suck, the ground handling is ridiculous. I said, you know, it's all the looks in the world can't make this work for me. When X-Plane checks so many more boxes for me than that. Like, visuals are nice, but they're not the most important thing. Flying the plane is what is more important to me. And flying the X-Plane just is way better than Microsoft Flight Sim for me. Which sucks though, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is the more popular sim and it's more commercially viable, so you're going to have a greater catalog of airplanes to fly in that, right? There's going to be more people making add-ons for that because there's more money there. But they're making add-ons for a sim that doesn't have the fidelity to really support the type of flying that I like to do. And because I had made payware for Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator, as soon as I started flying X-Plane, I kind of wanted to get back into making flight models because I was, you know, really good at it in FSX. And even though the way that you do them in X-Plane is fundamentally different, FSX was hard. FS9, FSX, it was hard to do flight models because they didn't have really good software development kits for it. So you had to kind of learn as you went, but there's basic fundamentals of aerodynamics and the way planes fly and what they're supposed to do that are universal, right? We're really, really fast. Speed brakes. So it was really easy for me to pick it back up for doing X-Plane because, you know, I understand the basic concepts of aerodynamics. Oh, if PMDG made planes for X-Plane, I'd buy everything they had because the PMDG MD-11, even though it had some issues which I corrected, that got myself in trouble with Razzle Dazzle for it. Once I made it fly better, which only needed a few small tweaks, it was really fun to fly because the systems were just so good. Alright, speed, flaps 15. Guys, they're good at PMDG is good at system modeling. Right, that's what I think that's where they excel at. Integration and system modeling and the systems failures, the fidelity of their code, I think is great. They have issues with other things, but I've never complained about the functionality of the planes. For PMDG has always been good. So if they could bring that systems ability to X-Plane and then take advantage of the higher fidelity flat models that you can get with X-Plane, they would be really hard to beat. Alright, let's arm approach. Oh yeah, hey, surveying, I have on my Discord, let me make this quick because we're about to land. On my Discord server, I have a channel called Flight Model Files, and everything that I do is released as a pin post here. My X checklist, different versions of my flight models, and I'll update them as I make changes. In case you don't like one, you can revert to a previous one. All my files are available here on Flight Model Files on my Discord. Come and get whatever you like. It's all available. This MD-11 that I'm playing right now, this version of the flight model, is available right now for you and my Discord. Free of charge, because how could I possibly charge for work that I didn't create, right? This is payware stuff that I've modified. So, of course it's free. It's not, I have no right to make money off of anything that I do when I'm making adjustments to other people's work. So come get it. I would love to get on a payware team someday for X-Plane, because I feel like I have the abilities and knowledge to do it. I just need more, you know, I need my name to get out there that I'm capable of doing this stuff, and eventually I'll get on a payware team. Because I used to make a lot of money doing this for FSX, and I had some big releases with my name on it. Alright, localize the capture.
$2,500. 2,500.
Alright, Mr. Approach heading.
2,500.
Set. Currently have a 30 knot quartering tailwind from the left. Hopefully that dials in a bit more. Current wind is 300 at 6, so it just should be a 6 knot tailwind, but right now we're getting a 29 knot tailwind. So we'll see how this goes. Let's be prepared to go around if we need to, in case the wind doesn't come in. If it's not going to work, we'll just circle and come back on 30. Missed approach out to 3,000. Alright. We're probably gonna get slowed down here. Let's go gear down. Class 28. Glide slope's alive. Alright, let's watch that tailwind closely. If that doesn't drop below about 15 knots, because we have a, you know, obviously it's not straight tailwind, it's a quartering tailwind, but that's still way above our limit, so. Flaps 35, we're on a glide slope. Landing checklist, landing gear down, spoiler handle is not armed. Now it is. That's why we got that green box. Flaps 35, altimeter's cross check. EAD is green, and we'll clear land. Okay, autopilot.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
We're a little bit fast. Auto throttle. Okay, 22 knots. Tailwind.
Stabilizer motion.
A little bit low, correcting. Knots. Getting there.
1,000.
Low, correcting.
Glide slow.
Correcting.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide.
Approaching. 1, 2.
Okay, 15 knot tailwind, we're good with this now. It's not even a tailwind, it's more like 10. We're good. Stable.
Approaching minimum. Minimum 200.
Continue.
One hundred. 50, 40, 30,
Oh,
20.
hold on
10.
tight. Ah! Whew. I came up fast.
Spoilers deployed.
Oh, thank you. Manual braking.
Three 3,000 feet remaining.
Jeez, man, is there a slope on this thing? That came up quick. All right. We're gonna take runway 24 here. Wow, that was a close one, man. That jip was coming up a lot faster than I remember it. I don't land on runway 12 a lot. I think that's probably why.
On runway 24.
Jesus. Ugh. I don't know if that was textbook, man. At the last second there, it really went. That sync rate really increased, so the runway was coming up faster than what I was expecting. Oh, God. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. This should be taxiway Charlie here. We'll take this. Yep. I'll check it out. I'll check it out right now. It was almost 1,000 feet per minute for a second, but I was able to save it. Alright. The APU started. Auto brakes off. Flaps retracted. Alright. After landing checklist complete. Alright, let's see what that almost crash was. Yeah, that's about right. I would say that was fair. Not my best work, but it was alright. From being a crash to that, I'll take it. I don't know, man. But it felt like about 300. That's what it on my end here. That was my perception of what it was going to be. So that seems to align with what I was expecting. Oh, I'm way off center here. There you go.
Stabilizer.
Bruh. Bruh. Look at that. Oh. Look at that taxi. Come on, man. You can't do what I do. Sheesh. I had a center line big time. Where you at, V1 Sam? I got you. You can't do that. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you can. Alright, fuel. Okay, parking brake released. External power on. APU power off. APU off. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I that wasn't my most stable approach. I think the tailwind was really throwing me off. It was within the stable approach criteria, but it wasn't very stable. I was a little fast over the threshold because the VREF should have been 157, and we touched down at 162, which means I was carrying a lot of speed going into the landing. But I don't think my glide path was that bad, but that runway was just coming up so fast. I'll have to go back and watch it again and kind of figure out what happened here, but it was like 50, 40, 30, 20. I was like, crap. I was pulling. I had a yoke about here, guys. Like, I was about here when we flared it because I was just like, it's not going to be good. But we saved it. Anyway, we're back to Hamilton, guys. It was, radar. I'm irradiating people here. This was a good set of flights. I needed a break. I had a crappy weekend at work, so this was nice to kind of decompress. If any of you guys are looking for some MD-11 instruction, I would love to do some shared flight with you all. I tried to do it tonight, but it didn't quite work out. But I'm here. I pay for this every month, so I have a paid subscription, so I can always host, and you can join as a crew member, and I got it covered. And I'm very happy to sit on the right side for you if you need help. Like, I'll walk you through everything, I'll run your checklists, I'll coach you through it, but you can fly. I fly enough of these things. I'm happy to sit in the right seat every now and then. So hit me up on Discord if you're looking to do that. Yeah, Patrick, let's see, get your computer dialed in, and we'll definitely get another flight in here, man. I want to see what you got. Oh, hey. Sarah, it's free, man. Just download the plugin. And you just need to sign up for an account. You don't have to pay for it. I already pay for it, so it's only like $8 a month. It's not a big deal. So you'll log in as a co-pilot, but you'll be in the left seat and I'll be in the right seat. I think it'll be fun. Let's try it out sometime. Alright guys, I'm gonna go to bed. Tomorrow night, 7:37, 700 flight testing on the channel. We'll do a few legs, so I'll be very short so we get a lot of cycles in, because what I need to test is the takeoff and landing performance. I don't need to test the crew stuff because I got that dialed in. But we got to get cycles, so I think my plan's currently at Fresno, so we'll fly from Fresno to Las Vegas to Palm Springs, you know, short flights just so I can make adjustments to that stuff. So hope to catch you guys tomorrow night for some 737 action. And until then, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Good night.